Dear ladies and gentlemen, there comes a point in your life when you realize not everyone will clap for you, not everyone will celebrate your growth, not everyone will understand the fight you're in, the faith you're holding onto, or the future you're chasing. And that's okay, because when the world goes silent, you've got to become your own shout. You've been waiting for people to validate what God already confirmed. You've been waiting for someone to speak life over you when you've got life flowing through you. You don't need another round of applause. You need to remember the sound of your own voice declaring truth over your life. Because the truth is, the enemy doesn't want to steal your talent, your potential, your future. He wants to silence your belief in yourself. He wants to convince you that you need someone else to give you permission to show up fully. But I came to tell somebody you've been too quiet about your purpose. You've been whispering your dreams when you should have been prophesying them. You've been waiting for a crowd when God said, "You are the crowd." You've got to start cheering for yourself like you already crossed the finish line. You've got to encourage yourself in the mirror even when the tears are still falling. You've got to remind yourself, I'm still here, I'm still breathing, I'm still chosen. Because the loudest voice in your life should never be the voice of doubt, shame, or insecurity. It should be the voice of faith, the voice of purpose, the voice of power, your voice. Be your loudest cheerleader, because nobody else knows what it cost you to keep going. Nobody else fought the battles you fought behind closed doors. Nobody else had to rebuild themselves in the dark just to stand in the light. And if they won't clap for you, clap for yourself. If they won't believe in you, believe anyway. Because the truth is, the most powerful breakthroughs begin not with applause, but with agreement. When you agree with heaven about who you are, it's time to stop waiting to be discovered and start deciding to be undeniable. You are not weak, you are not overlooked, you are not behind, you are powerful, you are purposed, you are in process, and most importantly, you are enough. Now say it loud enough until your fear can't hear itself anymore. 10 key points of the speech. Be your loudest cheerleader. Stop waiting for applause. Start speaking life over yourself. The enemy doesn't need to steal your gifts if he can silence your confidence. Your voice must be louder than the doubt trying to drown you. You know your struggle better than anyone. Cheer accordingly. Encouragement isn't just a gift you give others, it's fuel for your own fight. Your future can't afford for you to stay quiet about your calling. God already approved you. You don't need human permission to be bold. Even if no one stands with you, you're never alone. Heaven's on your side. Every day you get up and try again is worth a standing ovation. Being your own cheerleader trains you to trust the voice God placed inside you. Certainly. Below is the ** expanded version of key point 1 ** from the message *. Be your loudest cheerleader *, written in a bold, emotional, truth-heavy style inspired by Stephen Furtick *, without subtitle or conclusion *. There's something dangerously deceptive about waiting for applause. It seems innocent at first. You just want someone to say, "I see you, I believe in you, you're doing great." But the trap is when you start needing it, when your self-worth becomes tied to someone else's affirmation. When your courage becomes conditional based on how loud they cheer or how often they validate. That's where the silence becomes paralyzing, because not everyone will cheer, not everyone will notice. And not everyone is supposed to. Some people are too distracted by their own battles to clap for yours. Others are too intimidated by your strength to speak into your greatness. And a few, let's be honest, they'll be rooting against you quietly while smiling publicly. But here's what I need you to understand. Applause is not your assignment, praise is not your fuel, and approval is not your identity. You were never meant to live off the echo of other people's words. You were meant to move by faith, speak with fire, and walk with authority even when it's quiet, especially when it's quiet, because that's when it matters most, not when everyone is watching, but when no one is looking. Not when the crowd is chanting your name, but when you're sitting in the dark wondering if the effort is even worth it. That's the moment your voice needs to rise. You've got to speak life even when life feels empty. You've got to declare truth even when the lies are screaming louder. You've got to wake up in the morning, look in the mirror, and say, I still believe in me. I still know I'm called. I still know there's more. Because silence isn't a sign that you've failed. It's an invitation to get louder in your own spirit, to become the kind of person who doesn't just survive the quiet seasons, but shines in them. And the only way that happens is if you stop waiting for someone else to clap and start speaking the truth of who you are, who you're becoming, and what you carry. You don't need a stadium full of fans. You need one voice that refuses to quit, and that voice is yours. Here is the full deep expansion of key point 2 from be your loudest cheerleader written in an emotionally rich, faith-driven, high-energy style inspired by Stephen Furtick without subtitle and without conclusion The enemy doesn't always come to destroy your talent. He doesn't always come to attack your gifting. He doesn't have to tear down your calling to make you ineffective. He just has to shut you up. Because the enemy knows something you forgot. Your confidence is the doorway to your calling. If he can get you to doubt it even just a little, if he can get you to hesitate before you speak, if he can get you to tone it down so you don't offend people with your boldness, then he's already disarmed you. You've still got the gift. You've still got the assignment, but now you've gone quiet. And when you stop speaking, when you stop standing up, when you stop believing that you have something to bring to the table, you slowly start living like you're not qualified. But let me tell you, the enemy isn't after your gifts because he can't take what God gave. He's after the confidence that activates the gifts. He's after the voice that carries the weight of heaven. He's after the courage that gives your purpose movement. Because when you stop believing in yourself, you stop building what God put in your hands. You start silencing dreams before they ever leave your mouth. You talk yourself out of blessings that were already yours. And you let fear write a narrative that heaven never signed off on. And here's the worst part. You start to think it's humility. You start to believe that downplaying yourself is being humble. But it's not humility if it makes you hide what God wants you to shine. It's not spiritual to shrink when God called you to stand tall. That lie that you're too much, too loud, too broken, too not enough. That lie is the strategy of hell to silence the voice heaven empowered. You've got to recognize that this fight isn't just about external circumstances. It's not about the rejection, the closed doors, or the people who didn't support you. This is about your inner voice, the one that either builds your courage or buries your calling. And the only way to win that battle is to get louder than the lie. You've got to preach to yourself like your destiny depends on it, because it does. You've got to declare truth louder than the doubt in your head. You've got to speak faith before you see results. Because silence might feel safer, but it never leads to breakthrough. Your breakthrough starts with your voice, with your belief, with the moment you say, no more. I'm not waiting for the world to recognize what heaven already confirmed. Because when you believe again, when you speak again, when you stand up again, the enemy can't stop what God set in motion. He didn't win when you failed. He only wins if you stay silent. So get your voice back. Speak like someone who knows they were chosen, and keep speaking until hell gets nervous. Here is the full expanded version of key point 3 from be your loudest cheerleader, written in a bold, soul-stirring and hope-filled tone inspired by Stephen Furtick, without subtitle and without conclusion. There are voices all around you, voices on social media, voices in your family, voices from your past, and they all want a seat in your spirit. But none of those voices have the authority to define you unless you give them the microphone. You've been letting too many voices speak louder than your own. You've let the voice of comparison be louder than contentment. You've let the voice of fear scream louder than your faith. You've let the voice of failure shout over the sound of your growth. But the problem is not that those voices exist. The problem is that you stopped listening to your own. The voice that says, I still believe. The voice that says, I'm getting better. The voice that says, this pain is producing purpose. The voice that says, God's not done with me yet. You've forgotten what your voice sounds like when it's full of power because you've trained your ears to only hear what the world echoes. The enemy wants you to think your silence is humility, but really it's self-erasure. He wants you to accept the label someone else gave you. He wants you to assume your best days are behind you. And worst of all, he wants your inner monologue to agree with him. But let me ask you something. When did your voice stop being the loudest one in your head? When did you start trusting your critics more than your creator? Because your voice matters. Your voice is prophetic. It sets the tone of your day, the pace of your progress, the shape of your spirit. When you get up in the morning and say, I'm still chosen, when you tell yourself, this setback is not the end of me, when you remind your own heart, I was made for more, you begin to break cycles of self-doubt that have kept you stuck for years. You don't have to wait for someone else to speak that over you. You can speak it over yourself. You were not made to be an echo. You were made to be a voice of faith in a fearful world, a voice of courage in a culture of compromise, a voice of joy in a generation drowning in comparison. And the truth is, you can't afford to be quiet anymore. You can't afford to keep dimming your light because someone else feels uncomfortable. You can't keep negotiating with your past every time you try to rise. This is the season where your voice has to rise above the noise, above the guilt, above the trauma, above the insecurity, because when your voice becomes the loudest, your spirit aligns with your purpose. Your faith gets activated, your fear gets confronted, and heaven starts moving in your direction, not because you waited, but because you spoke. So speak again, believe again, be louder than every lie that tried to bury you. Here is the expanded key point 4 of the message be your loudest cheerleader, in a bold, emotionally intense and faith-infused tone inspired by Furtick without subtitle and without conclusion. It's easy to celebrate yourself when everything's going right. When the opportunities are flowing, when the people are supporting, when the doors are opening, it doesn't take much effort to say, I'm proud of me. But what about the moments when you gave it your best and it still fell apart? What about the days when you showed up and nobody noticed? What about the nights when you prayed with tears in your eyes and silence was the only response? That's when cheering for yourself becomes warfare. Because you're not just clapping for what happened, you're prophesying over what hasn't happened yet. See, anybody can celebrate a victory once it's visible. But the kind of cheerleading I'm talking about, the kind that builds your soul from the inside out, is the kind where you say, even when I lose, I'm still learning. Even when it looks like nothing's working, I'm still growing. Because real growth isn't measured by results. It's measured by resilience. By how quickly you bounce back after falling. By how fiercely you hold on to hope in the middle of the storm. We live in a world obsessed with outcomes, likes, followers, milestones, applause, and if you're not careful, you'll start thinking you're only worthy of celebrating when the world says you're winning. But God's metric is different. He doesn't just cheer when the goal is scored, he celebrates every step you take in faith. Every moment you don't quit. Every time you encourage yourself when nobody else is around. You've got to stop waiting until everything looks perfect to celebrate yourself. Celebrate the fact that you woke up and chose purpose over comfort. Celebrate the fact that you didn't let your emotions dictate your obedience. Celebrate the fact that you're still standing even with scars, even with pain, even with questions. because your ability to cheer for yourself in the dark is what prepares you for the spotlight. Anybody can perform when they're being praised, but only a warrior can keep building, keep showing up, keep speaking life asterisk when it feels like nothing's changing. Asterisk, and if you're only good at loving yourself when you're winning, you're not really loving yourself, you're negotiating your worth. Your value doesn't drop because your progress slowed. Your destiny doesn't shrink because the doors didn't open on time. Your voice doesn't lose its power just because someone else didn't affirm it. There is power in becoming your own source of affirmation. When you say to yourself, "That didn't go the way I planned, but I'm still proud I tried." When you whisper in your spirit, "Today was hard, but I didn't give up." When you look in the mirror, not to find flaws, but to find evidence that God is still working through you, that is holy. That is powerful, that is necessary, because no one else knows what it cost you to still be here. No one else knows the private battles you fought to maintain public composure. No one else heard the way you cried and still chose to show up. But you know, and God knows, and that's enough to start clapping. Here is the expanded key point 5 from be your loudest cheerleader, in the bold, raw, and emotionally charged style inspired by Stephen Furtick, without subtitle and without conclusion. Some of you have been waiting for someone to come along and recognize the greatness inside you. What if they never do? What if the mentor never sees you? What if the friend never validates you? What if the family member never apologizes or acknowledges your progress? Will you let your destiny stay paused because someone else couldn't press play? You see, there's a deep truth we need to confront. You can't outsource your confidence. You can't delegate your drive. You can't keep waiting on someone else to be your voice when God gave you your own. If you're not willing to speak life into yourself, how can you expect anyone else to believe in what you're not even declaring? Some of us are trapped in a cycle of emotional bankruptcy because we keep withdrawing from people who were never supposed to carry our calling. We're asking for approval from people who are too insecure to give it. We're begging for support from people who benefit from us staying small. And we're disappointed every time they don't come through, as if they were the source of our self-worth. But let me remind you, God didn't put your calling on a committee vote. He didn't wait for the crowd to clap before he knit purpose into your bones. He didn't ask your critics for permission before he assigned greatness to your life. So why are you still waiting for someone to say, "Go"? You've got to be the one who decides, "I'm going anyway." You've got to be the one who says, "Even if they don't see it, I will keep building it." You've got to be the one who cheers in the silence, who shouts in the dry season, who dances even when there's no music, because self-affirmation is not arrogance, it's alignment. When you learn to speak over your own life, you shift the atmosphere of your inner world. You build a fortress of faith around your spirit that protects you from the darts of doubt. You stop begging people for what you've already been given: identity, favor, power, and purpose. The enemy wants to keep your voice silent because he knows the moment you start believing what God says about you louder than what people say about you, you become unstoppable. That's why your inner cheerleader isn't optional. It's essential. It's survival, because not everyone will understand what you're building. Not everyone will clap for the battles you win in private. Not everyone will see the healing that's happening underneath your scars. But you do. You see how far you've come. You see how much you've grown. You see how many times you almost quit but didn't. And that means you are the most qualified person to stand up in your own spirit and say, "I'm proud of who I'm becoming." Not because I've arrived, but because I didn't abandon myself along the way. So, if you've been waiting for someone else to notice you, to validate you, to speak life into you, stop. You are the one you've been waiting for.